Probably the most vocal anti-Trump celebrity out there.
Yes. My political views have changed immensely. I will not vote for Joe Biden. At this point when we're doing this interview, voting for Trump is on the table. People are like, what are you talking about? That's my reality.
This is a Visegrad 24 series about the Israel-Hamas war.
My name is Stefan Thompson and I'm here with Visegrad 24 in another interview from the ground from Israel. This time filming on Frishman Beach, Tel Aviv. I'm here with Michael Rapaport, a Hollywood star, a man who has become more recognizable in Israel than you are in the US. Would that be correct?
It might be correct. It might be correct. I don't know exactly how that happened. It certainly wasn't intentional. I know that before I got here, speaking out specifically at the beginning of the Kanye West anti-Semitism, I'd gotten some traction in Israel, or people, were reaching out to me. And then obviously after October 7th, speaking out as just participating in everything I can to stand for Israel and to stand for Jewish people has made me more recognizable here. And I'm proud of it, in a way, because I don't do that and didn't do that with any intention except for speaking out on behalf of Jewish people and Israel. It wasn't like I thought, I'd come here and people would know who I am. In a way, it's better. In a way, it's more gratifying to be recognized for that than as an actor. I love being recognized as an actor because that's what I do, and it's part of my life. It's been for so long, but this is a different kind of connection with people. It's a different kind of connection with people.
You're an actor, you're a Hollywood star.
Yes, I'm a big Hollywood star. I mean, when you think of big Hollywood stars, you're going like Leonardo DiCaprio, like, Will Smith, Brad Pitt, Michael Rapaport. Like, it's probably you go Leonardo DiCaprio, Will Smith, Brad Pitt, maybe George Clooney, then Rapaport, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Margot Robbie, and so forth, Scarlett Johansson, Jennifer Lawrence. But it's somewhere like in the 6 or 7 of the top biggest stars in Hollywood. That's where I land most of the time. Sometimes I'll fall to like 11 or 12. That's fine.
You've used social media in a really aggressive way.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
I've used social media in a very aggressive way, even about mundane things. That's just my style. And aggressive could be cursing. Aggressive could be sort of,
I'm not even talking about the cursing. You really go after people.
When it comes to more serious things, I am aggressive. If it's politics, I'm aggressive. It's certainly aggressive about anti-Jewish stuff. It's certainly aggressive about anti-Israel, anti-Zionist things. And the reason why I have taken that sort of tone is because on social media, they're being aggressive to Jews and to Israeli people and to supporters of Israel. The majority of the people, they use Zionism as a curse word, as a slur. They use supporting Israel as like you're some sort of freak or terrorist. And I'll say in general, the Jewish way is not to speak that way publicly. I am not conventionally Jewish, and I want to fight the aggressiveness and the insulting and the slurs with the same aggressiveness and the slurs and the insulting that they've been giving us. And that's my style. I don't expect everybody to articulate themselves that way. People could articulate themselves in a smart way, in a funny way, or not articulate themselves at all on social media. That's what I do. And that's what I will continue to do.
A lot of Hollywood, or at least a lot of the vocal stars, feel left-wing. They usually speak up on social causes that are traditionally associated to the left. When Black Lives Matter was happening, almost everyone in Hollywood posted a black square. When Gay Pride happens, almost everyone in Hollywood posts an LGBT flag. When October 7th happened, there was a deafening silence, and the lone voice was really you. What's been the cost of speaking up this way, and why is it that so few other stars? There are stars who've spoken out. Robert Downey Jr. wore an alive, just the word "hi" in Hebrew on his neck recently, and a few other people have sort of made statements. Montana Tucker wore a gold ribbon to the Grammys. What's it been like being a silent being a voice amongst the silence?
I'll say this. In my community, in the actors, directors, Hollywood community, that's what we call it. You know, there's a lot of actors, directors, people in New York, but the quote-unquote Hollywood community, traditionally, everybody from Marlon Brando at the Oscars to everything forward, to climate change, to equal right pay for women, to the Beastie Boys speaking about rape at that music award show, to so many actors talking about so many different things. During this 2024 award season, to see nobody at any one of those awards, people cry, people rally, people speak, people get standing ovations, to see nobody speak, I'm being totally honest, I was so disappointed in my community. I was embarrassed in my community of Hollywood people. You know, I think one of the reasons why some of the people that have spoken out have quieted, because they have gotten lambasted, they have gotten boycotted, their comments get filled by robots, sock puppets, AI, and that could freak people out. It's not for everybody, it's not for the meek. It's been extremely disappointing to me to see the silence, because I've spoken out for Black Lives Matter, and I'll continue to speak out on behalf of other things that I agree on. But to see the majority of the Black African American community say nothing and not want to inform themselves, to say nothing, to see so many Jewish actors who have made a living off of the great iconic Jewish humor, to see so many women accept awards, 20-year-old women, 22-year-old women, 30-year-old women accept awards at this show, that show, and 20-something-year-old young men, while there's hostages the same age as them, and not say anything political. You don't have to be political like me. You don't have to be a lunatic like me. You don't have to be as aggressive like me, but to know that there's hostages, and everybody knows that that's not okay. There's nobody that could try to explain, rationalize hostages being taken, babies, kids, women. We know there's rape. We know there's all sorts of things, and not to say anything about that when we say things about trees being cut down, equal right pay, you know, Black Lives Matter this, LGBTQ this, to not say not a peep. And in this day and age, in 2024, when the red carpet is bigger, longer, and more packed than ever before, there's bloggers, vloggers, podcasters, mainstream media, to see nothing, that shit hurt my fucking heart straight the fuck up. Because I know next year they'll say something about whatever the fuck is going on. Shit was embarrassing to me. This shit is embarrassing to me. And I think, you know, it's because people are they don't believe in it, and they're scared. And it's a shameful thing. That part of it really bothers me, to say nothing. You know, we get excited about the great Robert Downey wearing a tie, or somebody who's from the Academy wearing a tiny yellow pin. That's all we got? Shit's not cool. You know, it's not cool. You know, there was Jada Pinkett started the, you know, Oscars So White, and that was great. I supported it.
Yeah.
But to say nothing about, you know, what happened on October 7th in any way, shape, or form, you could even talk about both sides if you want, but say something. You could say, I want everybody to be peaceful and free the hostages. You could say something. Even say you're pro-Hamas or you're pro-Palestine. Say something. Nobody said shit.
Do you understand the other side? Do you understand the Hamas side or the Palestinian side, or even the people in the West who are marching in the streets? We've seen 300,000 people in London. We've seen thousands of people in DC, in New York, in every single major Western city. We've seen people march for Palestine. Do you understand the other side?
I clearly understand Hamas's side, and I could give two fucking shits about any of it. I understand. They've told us their side very clearly. We just don't listen. They're continuing to tell us their side very clearly, and they articulate it very, very plainly and simply. I understand their side. You know, 300,000 people, this amount of people, I don't know what's in their head. everybody wants to see peace in the world. Nobody wants to see anybody suffer.
You'd think that.
You'd think that. You'd think that. And if you want to see peace in the world and nobody suffering, fantastic. I can't speak on the 300,000 people and the social media people, but when it becomes fuck Israel and fuck the Jews, I don't give a fuck what you're saying. If it becomes fuck the Jews, fuck Israel, the conversation is over, in my opinion. I don't. Then it's fuck you. I don't care about your fuck you. You 19. I don't fuck you. ... Fuck you. When it becomes that, and that's what incited me. What incited me in regards to October 7th was on October 8th, the girl in my city in Times Square going like this. That incited me. The guy in Philadelphia saying there should be more. The Cornell professor saying he was invigorated.
Invigorated was the word.
The celebration of it while the bodies were still being, while they were still fighting in Kibbutz Be'eri and Kfar Aza. While it was still going, we were still trying to get these motherfuckers out. You're celebrating in the street. I'm not accepting any of that shit. I'm not accepting, I don't care about you. When it's that mentality, I don't care about what you have to say. When it's about peace for all and Arabs, Gazans, Palestinians focusing on building their country and their state and thriving and coexisting in a normal 2024 and beyond way, then I'm down for a conversation. All this other shit, I'm not, when it's anything about fuck the Jews, fuck Israel, or fuck anybody else, when it becomes fuck LGBTQ, I've spoken up. When it becomes, George Floyd deserved to be, I've spoken up. And then that's just how I am. But it's certainly when you say fuck the Jews, I'm Jewish. So that's when I'm gonna speak up the loudest. Because I also know that it was proven that it can happen again. And when you're saying infatada, like you want to globalize violence in New York City? Fuck out of here. Like that's not cool. Like it's not acceptable. Well, this, that, and the third, it's not acceptable.
Have your political views shifted? You've been a very vocal anti-Trump.
Yes.
And probably the most vocal anti-Trump celebrity out there.
Yes.
Have your views shifted? I mean, a lot of Israelis are very supportive of Donald Trump, right?
Stefan, in all honesty, I have educated myself so much since 2016, and I have a ways to go. My political views have changed immensely, and they're changing at a rapid pace. I will not vote for Joe Biden. I do not support anybody from the squad. I think they're totally full of shit. I think they're dangerous. I think they're race hustlers. I think they're cons. I think inevitably they want to get themselves production deals to produce documentaries. I think they're three-card Monty playing bullshit artists. I think they totally have an agenda. I have said, not to go down the rabbit hole, that at this point when we're doing this interview, voting for Trump is on the table. People are like, what are you talking about? That's my reality. That is my reality. I will not support anybody who's anti-Israel. I will not support anybody that is anti, making America safe. I'm not supporting anybody that is cool with the fact that it takes me 2.5 hours to get back into America from Toronto at the what is it called? The passport at the
passport control.
The line to go from Toronto to New York. It takes me 2.5 hours, as it should, but it takes you 2 minutes to cross the border. I'm not down with that shit. I'm not down with police officers in the greatest city on earth getting beaten up, and you're a legal immigrant, and then you have no bail. I'm not down with
and flipping off the camera.
Flipping off the fucking camera like Tupac when he got arrested and he was coming out in the red Detroit Red Wings t-shirt. I'm not down with going into a Costco or a 7-Eleven or a Rite Aid, as I videotaped once and went crazy viral, cleaning out the spot and walking like you're on like a beautiful spring day walk. I'm not down with any of that shit. So any of these people that support it, I'm not voting for them. So yes, my political views have changed a lot. I'm voting with my money and I'm voting with Israel. I'm not getting caught up or suckered into these race politics or any of that bullshit anymore. Yeah, they have changed and they're going to continue to change and evolve. It's a crazy time, American politics.
Do you consider yourself white? Speaking of race hustle.
Do I consider myself white? I consider myself Jewish. When people have always asked me, you know, in New York, it's like, especially the New York that I grew up in, black people, Puerto Rican people, Irish people, Italian people. You know, if me and you were growing up the way you look, I look, they would say, what are you? You say, I'm Polish. Okay. They say, what are you? I'm Jewish. Oh, you look Irish. Nah, I'm Jewish. I've always led with that. Of course I'm white. Of course I'm, you know, physically white. But when people say, what are you? I say I'm Jewish. Because if you're not saying to me, what are you? And going, are you black or white? You know that I'm physically white. So when people say, what are you? I always said I'm Jewish. I've always led with being Jewish.
Yeah.
I wish there were some more Americans here on that day. Not that anything bad happened to them to have seen it. I wish there were some prominent Americans here that could share their testimony and share what they saw, because I think it would help. The fact that we're going to Kfar Aza, the fact that we're speaking to hostage families on their behalf to advocate for them would only happen with Israeli people and Jewish people. That shit's really bothers me. You know, it's like we're bearing witness, like you still are bearing witness to the Holocaust. People go, they go to Auschwitz and they go, I'm bearing witness. This just happened a few months ago and we have to prove the atrocities that happened. People are still like, you know, when they talk about the rape, they're like, prove it. I'm like, what do you want to see it? You want to see rape? You want to physically see beheading? Because I saw the 47-minute footage. And in the 47-minute footage, I saw multiple women bleeding from the crotch area. I saw multiple people get shot. I saw stomping on dead bodies from innocent civilians in Gaza. I saw multiple people in that 47-minute footage that that a lot of press people saw. I saw multiple people get shot and killed in cold blood. I saw terrorists and innocent civilians celebrating. I saw them taking videos.
Filming themselves doing it, like, as if they were influencers.
I heard a guy calling his mother and saying, I killed 10 Jews, Mom. He was elated. I killed 10 Jews with my bare hands. You know what I didn't hear? I didn't hear anybody say occupier, apartheid, 1948. I didn't even hear the word Palestine. I didn't hear free Palestine. I didn't hear anything about from the river to the sea. I saw elation of the killing. I saw cold-blooded, calculated, proudly killing. I saw somebody bomb a father and his two sons in a rocket shelter, and in front of the two kids who had their father's blood all over them, take a Coca-Cola out of the refrigerator and drink it. I heard over 100 Allahu Akbars. No one said Palestine, from the river to the sea, Gaza. There wasn't talk about watermelons, apartheid, or any of that shit. That's what I saw with my own eyes, and I wish more people could sit there in front of that fucking camera with no phones and have to sit there and try to rationalize that and come up with some more bullshit to validate it or excuse it. They would only excuse it with Jews in Israel.
Eisenhower, when they were liberating the concentration camps in 44, 45, said to the troops, take as many photos as you can, because in 20 years, some son of a bitch will come and say this never happened. He talked of a time frame of 20 years. We're speaking here of a time frame of not even 12 hours, and there was already denial happening of October 7th.
And you motherfuckers saw the footage. What are you talking about? It didn't happen. Yesterday you saw the footage. That's why you're celebrating
you
in the streets.
It.
How are you saying it didn't happen? It inspired you to celebrate in the street. You were partying in the street after you saw the footage, motherfucker. It wasn't hearsay. You were partying in the street. You were going like this. You were invigorated from what you saw. You saw it. You saw the shit, and it invigorated you. The fuck are you talking about? You got to pick a side.
I want to end on an optimistic note. I want you to give me what are you hopeful about?
I hope for Israel to be looked at as a sovereign state that has the right to exist peacefully. I want people to leave Israel and Jewish people the fuck alone. I want peace for everybody. I want prosperous, healthy, safe lives for everybody. I truly want that. I think everybody wants that. And if you don't want it, you're a sick fuck. But at the core of who I am, I got no problem with nobody if you don't have a problem with me. Or, peace. Like, that's what I want. I think everybody wants that. Everybody wants to live their life, Everybody wants to make some money, go on vacation, maybe make some more money and chill and drink their coffee and their vanilla lattes and their sushi and try pizza. Everybody wants to live their life. Nobody wants all this crazy shit. These fucking Lebanon, nobody wants any of that. I want peace. I want to have a good time.
Michael Rapaport, thanks so much.
I think we got some shit, right?
We did.